As a realtor, your image and reputation is everything, which is why making sure your profiles, images are updated, accurate, and reflect who you are as a professional is critical. At RE/MAX Results, we've created a complimentary online audit to help you make sure that your online presence is an accurate reflection of you for your customers. So if you're interested in having this complimentary guide, shoot us an email, podcast@results.net. There's no TikTok. There's no talking heads to tell you this. Like, how did 18, 19-year-old Paul St. Andrew figure out that you should invest in real estate and open a multi?
I guess maybe from my paper route job that I never really enjoyed having a boss. I don't work well being told what to do. So maybe I thought, well, gee, if I could pull this off, I could do it again and somehow muddle through and be able to, pay for things like shoes in my own house.
Hey everybody, today on the Results Driven podcast, we have Paul St. Andrew joining us today. Paul has been a sales executive with RE/MAX Results for...
I have no idea, Ed.
At least a week.
At least a week.
Yeah.
I keep looking on Facebook, you know how they put your picture up?
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. I wish they'd throw mine up so I know how long I've been here. It's been forever.
Yeah, well, I've been busy with dealing with other things. I didn't have a chance to Google you before this call, so I was hoping you were going to fill me in.
It's been a few years. It's been quite a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever the Uptown office opened.
Okay.
Which is no longer really with us much. But yeah, I came from a little bitty brokerage, Re-Urban Real Estate it was called. Mm-hmm. And Re-Urban was in a very dangerous location. It was right between Stella's and the rooftop of Stella's on the second floor of that building in Uptown.
Oh, okay.
So happy hour started. But yeah, so anyway, RE/MAX Results came and approached us and recruited us when they put that Uptown office in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then your paperwork didn't smell like crab cakes anymore.
Not anymore. No,
it's too bad.
I got a block and a half away from that.
Okay.
Or so it still was dangerously close.
Is that where you got started in real estate? Is that brokerage?
Yes, that was my first brokerage
that
I was at. And it was actually the Century 21 office, dating myself here. Mm-hmm. But it was the Century 21 office before that.
Yeah.
And it was just myself and 4 other guys.
Okay.
And all of us kind of sold residential real estate, some commercial, but we all worked with rental properties and multifamily. And so that was kind of our little connection as a group. We did other things, but that was...
Is that what got you into real estate? That's the multifamily?
That's what got me into real estate. I have a bit of like I was just telling these guys, I have a bit of an ADD career path.
Okay. Let's break it down. Start at the beginning.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. First job.
First job?
Yeah, first job.
Paperboy.
Okay.
Paperboy
Where?
on my bike. Right in South Minneapolis. I grew up about 5 blocks from where I live now in the Longfellow neighborhood. I grew up on 41st Avenue South, and I live right over close to the River Road now. But that was my paper route is actually where I live. And so, yeah, and it was, I'm again dating myself, but it was an afternoon paper route, which doesn't exist anymore. So I'd hop on my little bike and hit the trail and deliver papers. That was my first job.
Okay.
So,
well, fast forward a little bit then.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Many jobs later.
Yeah.
I got into real estate. My grandpa passed away when I was a teenager, a young guy, and he gave all of his grandkids a few dollars. That was when he left us. And my mom and dad were wise, and they didn't let me run out and buy a Camaro or something fun, and that money was burning a hole in my pocket in this Fidelity account. And I talked my dad into investing in a fourplex.
Okay.
How
old are you at this point?
I was 19.
Okay.
Well, I was 18. My grandpa's funeral was on my birthday, my 18th birthday in July.
Okay.
So I was probably about 19 or so. And I came home and I found this fourplex in Minneapolis, and I talked him into buying it. And of course I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. And so they went in, my mom and dad went in with me on it, and off we went. And
wait, so how did, there was no TikTok, there's no talking heads to tell you this. Like, how did 18, 19-year-old Paul St. Andrew figure out that you should invest in real estate and open a multi? No?
I have no idea how that came about. I knew I guess maybe from my paper route job that I never really had it. And then I had other subsequent jobs. I never really enjoyed having a boss. I was not, I don't work well being told what to do.
Okay.
You know, so maybe I thought, well, gee, if I could pull this off, I could do it again and somehow muddle through and be able to, you know, pay for things like shoes in my own house and different things. So that's how I started, was with that building, and I lived in a unit while I fixed it up, and then moved through the 4 units and got bored with that and found a duplex and did it again and again and again and again. And so that's kind of how my real estate career started while I was in college.
Okay.
So
where were you at college?
I went to the U for a while.
Okay.
I'm your favorite dropout.
Oh, all right.
Okay. So yeah, I went to the U for a little while, and then again, ADD career path. I ended up, after that, I thought that I had a good friend of mine who was on the radio, KQ. And we talked, and he actually was, he lived in my building, and met another couple guys that worked at the radio station there. And I thought, well, this is kind of cool and fun. And I'm 23 years old, 22. Okay. You know, and it's fantastic. You know, it's a fun life. And so I tried to do that.
Meaning a DJ or?
I ended up, I went to Brown Institute.
Okay.
And from there, I went up. I was an intern at KQRS, and then went up to Duluth for 8 years and was on the radio there, your hometown.
Yeah, that's right.
QDS. So, and it was great. It's a lot of fun. And I did a real estate on this. I still kept these rental properties. I bought a few in Duluth as well. Okay. But it's really difficult to pay your rent with Van Halen CDs and you know, stuff like that. So that was short-lived.
What was your time slot?
I started in Duluth in '91, the weekend before the big blizzard.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, actually, you know what? I have a shirt that says Blizzard of '91. I just picked it up.
Yes. I started the weekend before part-time.
Okay. So that must have given you like 2 months worth of content to talk about that.
Well, and we were snowed in.
Yeah.
You were snowed in at the radio. They'd come with the snowmobile to, you know.
No kidding.
Get us McDonald's or something, you know. It's ridiculous. So, but yeah, it was an interesting introduction to Duluth and also just to radio in general. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you can imagine being 23, 24 years old. You're kind of a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
All just fun times for sure.
Yeah.
So, but it can't last forever.
Yeah. Did you ever run out of things to talk about? What did you?
No, it's a music station.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
there's like,
have to be that.
Weekends on the nines.
Yeah.
Hey,
how you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, so you didn't have to do like a full thing, but you had to like line up the music. Did you pick your own music?
I ended up, when I moved on from there, I was a program director. And then I did middays, 10 to 2. So I was in charge of the music, and I picked it. But I had a lot of research behind me. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, you know, hanging out, listening to music all day.
Yeah.
It actually is a bit of a business.
Yeah.
You know, so I ended up choosing music and being in charge of the air staff. And,
cool.
You know, but again, the ceiling was, I kind of hit it at about 27.
Yeah.
For me. And that was that. So I moved on.
And also it's bleak midwinter up into
it's a little chilly and a little dark and gray, and not a lot to do in 93, 94 in January in Duluth. But it was fun. It was a fun run. I met my wife there, so that's it, you know.
Okay.
Made it
worth it. Yeah. Okay. So then when you decided you were just going to hang up the goggles or the
headphones. I left there and I interviewed for 2 different jobs, Miami and Chicago, and neither one panned out. You know, it just didn't. They didn't. Miami, they found somebody else. Chicago, it just didn't work out. So I ended up at home. What am I going to do? And started digging around with rental properties, even more serious. Got into that. Then I got my license, and here I am today.
Yeah. So then at the Stella's brokerage, just kind of start building your business kind of yourself. I mean,
I didn't have a playbook at all. And I felt very on my own. I remember in the beginning of doing this. And I look at the teams and the team model of real estate and new agents coming in and being able to plug into that type of a team model, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just because like most jobs, most of your education, what you learn getting your license, what you learn, all the practical stuff that you do that you need to do to be a licensed agent, we all know it has nothing to do with generating business.
Right.
And what to do.
Yeah.
And how to negotiate transactions and what comes up. I mean, you and I, we seem to have a fun topic of sewers.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
And using that team model and somebody with experience is just, for a newer agent, I think is just gold.
Yeah. So what did you do? What did you have to do?
I made a bunch of mistakes, man.
Okay.
Muddled through. And I was fortunate, I think, in the beginning, especially, to have really nice clients that were thoughtful, and I didn't make so bad of a mistake, I guess, that I blew everything up. But
Yeah.
they put up with me, I'm sure.
Right.
A little bit, especially in the very beginning as I was learning, because I truly didn't have I didn't have much experience working. I had experience with rental properties, but I didn't have experience really putting deals together for other people.
Sure.
So there was some ups and downs with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you got to results,
yes,
like tell what did that experience? So that was about late 90s? No.
I can kind of pinpoint whenever they got that office, but it was probably about 16 years ago. So
okay.
15, 16, 17 years ago or so. And when I did work with urban real estate, I didn't sell a whole lot of houses. I sold some, but I also spent a lot of time as well flipping houses, working on my own properties, doing other things. And part of the reason of me excited about moving over to results was I think I was ready for a bit of a change too, because I was tired of being the guy that would run to Home Depot for my guys when they were flipping a house, for example. I was spending a lot of time doing that and hauling sheetrock and stuff for all of these different projects that these properties have.
Yeah.
And I looked at coming to results as a chance to kind of make a bit of a shift in my career, to start to work more, to be more focused upon just residential real estate and helping people buy and sell.
Yeah.
And so that was it. And I kind of went kicking and screaming to that meeting, to be honest, because I thought it was the most corporate place in the world to be at Remax.
Huh.
And I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I was not interested in that. Like I told you, I don't like it when people tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So it was exactly the opposite. I left. I remember we were at the Edina West or Edina East office, I believe it was called or is called. And yeah, I left there feeling like this could be a chance to really pivot and make a shift in my career. And I did.
Yeah. So did the other guys come with?
Yeah. Everybody came with. The only other one that's left is Justin Sheeler.
Okay.
Justin's in the Woodbury office now. And and he's done fantastic with results also.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you, besides our biannual septic talk or whatever we're not talking about, like what are you seeing that's going on kind of right now? Like let's just say Southwest Minneapolis.
Yeah.
In the market there.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Like it always, it's interesting because it's Southwest Minneapolis. Minneapolis seems to be a pocket for me. I'm real referral based, so I go everywhere. But there, and then my office, I have the Highland Park office. So it's that neck of the woods. It's just like everywhere else. It's still such a seller's market, but you have to do it right. That's the conversation I seem to have with my listing clients all the time, is that one of the things I tell them is that it's not hard at all. It's actually pretty simple to sell a house. You fix it up, you market the heck out of it, and price it right. But it is like a three-legged stool, I think, is if you pull one of those legs out, you tip.
Yeah.
And that's why you still see houses. And we all have those listings where our clients, maybe for our best efforts, don't, want to try something against our wishes. And we still do it, and you can see it tip over.
Right.
It just does. And then here we are.
Yeah.
So in spite of the seller's market that still is and probably will continue to be with the interest rates making a bit of a shift, still have to do it right.
Yeah. So are you saying, are you thinking buyers are they have a little bit higher expectations regarding condition the home, cosmetic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They're expecting finished products.
I think that yes, they are. And I don't know. I wonder why sometimes, because a lot of buyers, 15, 20 years ago, especially, they couldn't wait to get their hands on a fixer-upper.
Right.
Something that they could make their own.
Right.
And I think people just don't have as much time in their day as they used to, or it's filled up.
Yeah.
Their days are filled up with other activities, and they're not interested in coming home after a long week of work and spend the weekend banging around on their house.
Right.
So
there was that understanding, maybe buying at the bottom end of the market after 2008 or whatever, where you're getting a screaming deal on a property, but
Right.
you knew there was going to be some issues with it, kind of thing, where now they're paying still premium price for real estate.
For sure.
And so their expectations just are that much higher.
They want it that much higher. And there's so many buyer clients I have that they might start out with the idea of, they might say out loud to you, oh, gee, we're ready to fix something up. We're ready to, but then when you start looking and start walking through them, their eyes open a little bit, and then their plans change.
Yeah.
And they realize that, that's not what they want to do. And then also it's not free to fix up a house, so it's not. So a lot of times it's more affordable for them to actually make that part of their mortgage and
Right.
buy a house that's ready to go.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So do you regularly kind of employ like a buyer consult before you go out and start looking, or how do you approach sort of that education process?
Well, and it's all shifting here, because the way that we work with buyers is going to change in about a day and a half.
Yeah, and that's true.
And I was always of the mindset, if somebody called me and they wanted to go see a house, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I get to say hi to them and meet them and talk with them, and hopefully find out that we're a good fit to work together and I can help them.
Okay.
Now with the new rules that are in place, I'm sure that there'll be a new version of that. But I am a believer of, I'd have a lot of success with just meeting them at the door.
Okay.
And then from there, let's go get a cup of coffee.
Sure.
Whether it's that day or the next day or whenever, so that then we can have that conversation about how I work with my buyer clients.
Okay. Well, and then the new rules won't change that too much, other than we have the home tour agreement.
We have your new form. Your new form. I have my folder form in the back.
Yeah. So you got that. Yeah. So there's North Star MLS has a version of that as well. It's a little bit more of a dense type of form. Zillow has their version of it. So whatever, kind of whatever floats your boat as far as that. But it's the new rule that says you must have a written agreement before you show the property, which is going to kind of be clunky for those buyers that they're just saying, I just met you, I don't want to sign anything with you, but you just have to kind of say, look, this is a new rule that I have to follow.
Correct. And I know a couple of things. Number one, I think this is chapter 1 of about a Harry Potter novel size event that's going to take place.
Sure.
So I think there'll be more that comes down the line.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But also, I think that the public will get used to it.
Yeah.
So it won't be that big of a deal to have them sign a quick form.
Right.
Before we open the door and off they go.
Right.
And I've never had a problem ever working non-exclusively with buyer clients. If you want to sign a non-exclusive agreement, I'm in.
Sure.
And I actually
gives you the motivation to,
And the other side of the coin, I might find out that I might not want to work with you either.
Sure.
All my rental properties, I have leases, but I never put a term on them. Because if I make a mistake, then I can ask that person to find new housing a lot quicker.
Sure.
Than if I have a term on my lease.
Okay.
If they turn out to be not the right fit.
Yeah.
So, that's okay. If they don't want to work with me, well, then, thank goodness there's so many of us realtors running around and can take care of everybody.
Right. It is kind of like it's a personality.
You're kind of married for a few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
wisely.
And if it's going to be unpleasant, it can kind of be just easier to just say, maybe you'd be better off with someone.
Exactly.
Your speed.
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as a non-exclusive or something like that, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the way if that's what we turn into, it's all good.
Yeah, and we already have those forms. Like they already exist within our kind of legal infrastructure.
Right.
So like you're using those, great. Those should be, you know, that doesn't change. Right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I think you're right. I think this is the first chapter in what's going to be a long, it could be multiple years, right, for this to all kind of play itself out.
Possibly.
You know,
Yeah.
How the other shoes drop and everything else, or you know, it'll be interesting over the kind of the longer term here.
And it'll be fine. Everybody needs help buying and selling.
Right.
You know, and you need more than you think you do, I think, as a consumer.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine.
Right.
We'll be fine. There's
Right.
going to be a need for us to still run around and do what we do.
Right. There's too many dollars at stake. It's too foreign for that a lot of people to just try to figure that out on their own. There are a few that will try,
For sure.
right? But in reality, I just bought a car, and I would have liked to had someone
you or
else
someone on
shepherd
your
me.
side.
You know, yeah. I mean, just be like, I would give me the options. I want a third row SUV, like what, you know, because
You don't know.
and this is it was exhausting. Like, do you think just driving around between a couple of cars, but got home at the end of the day and I felt like I was like 100 years old. Like,
Right.
And that again was just buying a car. I can get rid of the car a lot easier than I can
a house.
than making a mistake and purchasing the wrong home. Right. I will even, you know, use someone as a realtor who's boots on the ground, who knows what's going on in the neighborhoods and everything else. I wouldn't even trust me to just
do it, even though
even though I could, legally, but it's just like that's not. I'm not connected enough to the market, to what's going on. If I was looking to, you know, make an investment and buy a rental property, I'm going to go to someone who I know sees the market every day, because I'm not paying attention to that aspect of.
Well, and I think that's where we'll be fine, because there'll be people like that. You know, I mean, you don't buy a car every day. That's why you felt that way.
Right.
People don't buy a house every day or buy a rental. Most people don't buy, you know, even investment properties often enough to feel 100% confident.
Yeah.
You know, I would, if I buy a rental property, I'm going to bounce it off another agent.
Sure.
Just to see and just to look, and
Yeah.
another set of eyes is always a good thing.
Yeah.
You know.
But for you, and having the properties too, just having that actual, you know, knowledge and experience going through it can give them that little extra, you know, boost.
It's another collection of mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
That's okay. That's okay.
Anything on the horizon here in the coming year that you're looking forward to personally, professionally, anything like that?
Oh gosh, many things, I guess. You know, professionally, I you know, back to we talked briefly about team stuff, and I've been a solo agent really forever, and it just has dropped in my I haven't sought this out, but it's dropped in my lap a little bit. I'm gonna take on a agent coming up here in a couple of weeks. She's moving down from Duluth again.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting and fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
for sure, to see how that develops. And
So kind of mentoring.
I mean, I'll just tell you, it's my sister-in-law, Erin.
Yeah.
It's okay. And Erin's coming down. She worked with Brock Hansmeyer up in Duluth for years, so she's really knowledgeable as far as just being a transaction coordinator and knowing paperwork and knowing how, you know, all of that piece of the puzzle works. And she used to go with Brock quite often on listing appointments and other things. So she's, you know, she's out of the gate by a long shot. The one different thing compared to my business is I've just organically built this with friends and family members and sphere
In your
in my
neighbor.
my squad, you know, people that I work with. Erin's moving down from Duluth to Minneapolis, so it'll have to be she has a lot of friends and people here too, but not as many. It'll be interesting because it'll be a little bit of a different business model for her.
So she's gonna have to carve out her own toehold.
She's gonna have to carve out her stuff. What's she gonna do? Is she gonna, you know, jump on the phones and call expireds, call for sale by owners, you know, may circle prospect, all of the things that the business is out there.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, there's people out there holding their hands up that want help from a good agent.
Right.
So we just need to go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be interesting.
So that'll be exciting and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that for sure. And just to see how that develops, you know? Yeah.
I think that's one of those things that you realize when you teach, you do learn.
Yeah.
You know, when you really start to try to teach someone something, you start realizing that you have to really know it, right?
In order to share
it, to be able to intuitively know something, but then to articulate, you know, and speak it, you really have to know your stuff. And so it can actually be a very, self-serving. Yeah. I mean, in a way, it helps you raise your own game.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that too. It's funny you say that too, because I definitely want to keep doing this for a while. I turned 55 a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So I don't know. I still like, I don't know, do realtors even retire? Some maybe, but a lot of them just kind of hang out.
I think they just start selling in Florida or something.
Take up space in offices and do stuff. But I'm excited to keep going and doing things, but bringing, like you said, bringing somebody on, doing something different, something new. I'd like to raise the bar for myself because of it.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of looking forward to that piece of it too.
Okay, so we're going to have Erin on and we're going to have her critique you as your...
Great. Just what I need.
How's it going?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, she'll be a great fit.
Cool.
It'll be fun.
How about personally? Anything else coming up?
Personally, well, goodness, I got a kid going to London. He's at Loyola. He's going to start his junior year as a Loyola student studying abroad in London.
Ooh, all right.
So hopefully...
For a year or 6 months? Or...
6 months.
Okay.
So he'll be home by Christmas time, but all of us hayseeds are going to pack up and go the week of Thanksgiving and run over to London and check. I've never been.
Oh.
So I'm excited.
Pack your walking shoes.
Pack my walking shoes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
That'll be exciting.
A lot of fun. But yeah, no, that's it. I have a daughter that's 23. She graduated from St. Scholastica.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it doesn't stop. It's Duluth.
But she's not going to stay up there, right?
She's here. She's she got a job. She's an athletic trainer and she works at Summit Orthopedic.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so she started there here. She graduated in May with a master's and she's been working there since.
Okay.
So good for her. All these kids are smarter than me. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
My youngest son, Ryan, he'll be a senior this year at Minnehaha Academy.
Okay. Does he have big plans yet, or does he know where he's at?
He doesn't. I don't know. He's his father's son.
Okay.
For sure.
See which way the wind blows?
See which way the wind blows.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. And he's another one that's smarter than his pop. Thank God for that. But he's also the one that he's not as certain.
Okay.
What he wants to do. Joshy, my middle kid, the Loyola kid, he wants to be like Hugh. He's going to go to law school eventually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So he's kind of has a bit of a plan.
Yeah.
And but Ryan, the youngest, we'll see. We'll see where life takes him.
Well, once you become a lawyer, the wind still blows you, because then it's like, well, what kind of lawyer,
right?
Going to be? And I just tumbled my way into real estate, and now I'm here, and I'm not
so much
anywhere.
you can do with a law degree.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. So that's all. I'm still the loudest house on the block.
Yeah,
sure. So
okay,
but it's a lot of fun.
But you're gonna take that on the road to or
take it on. Yeah, I know the Clampets are hopping on the big plane. I don't see Silver Bird.
Awesome.
Off we go. It'll be good.
Well, that'll grab some fish and chips where you're there. Actually, get some curry where you're there, because
that's what I hear.
The Indian food.
I hear happy hour is fantastic.
It's all day, every day.
All day, every day. Yeah. So that'll be fun, and it'll be good. But no, it's been great. Results has been, it's interesting. I didn't have a giant career plan. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that coming when we all met over in Edina there, and I decided to change my career path or pivot a little bit. And I never dreamed that this is where I would end up and what I would end up doing. And I think a lot of people get into real estate and it wasn't their first thought.
Sure.
But they find it and they find out that they like it, and I still, after all these years, I kind of enjoy it. I really enjoy it, to be honest.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That matters.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Well, working with you, Ed, what's not to like,
Oh,
right?
yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not always as fun and charming as I am on these podcasts. Sometimes,
man, I don't know. I hung out with you in Vegas. You want to see fun and charming?
Yeah. I think we walked away with some money from the craps table.
Did all right. I'm a watcher at the craps table.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. No,
I'm just usually bright lights and colors and then just see what happens. But it worked out that
we had a fun night.
Yeah. The R4. Yeah.
R4.
That's right.
R4. You going again?
Probably. I always find my way there. Yeah. So it'll be
good.
It's always a good thing to kind of get unplug for a minute.
It is.
Yeah. Hang out with everybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. No.
And actually, this year or this spring, there will probably be some topics to talk about.
It might change.
It might actually there might be some good opportunity to learn some things. So yeah, should be a good year.
I think it'll be a good year too. I don't go every year because I feel like it is once in a while. It's a little similar. There's always new stuff, but it's a little similar.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd say this year is definitely a year to go.
Yeah, well,
for sure.
Then I'll see you at the craps table.
I'll see you. They should write us a check for this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. Well, Paul, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your summer and fall, and great trip.
Well, thanks, buddy. I know you kind of set the bar low here with me, but happy to join you.
Yeah. Oh. You and me both here. All right.